Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I would appreciate it majorly. Okay, so I saw this story last night on Fox 10 Phoenix. I check, the major reporters that are doing the most reporting on the missing kids from Idaho, J.J. Vallow and Tyler Ryan, as well as, their mom and stepdad and the whole thing, and Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. So last night there was a story on Fox 10 Phoenix. Justin Lum is the reporter over there that's been doing a lot of reporting on this, and he had a story. Actually, he pinned it right there. There it is, dude. And about Tammy Daybell, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell getting married. Okay, it's now Lori Daybell on November 5th. And that's only, I think, 17 days, if I did my math right, after Tammy Daybell, passed away, or allegedly or supposedly passed away, if you're someone like myself who has this different idea, that all three of those persons, Tammy Daybell, Chad, Charles Vallow, and Alex Cox, I believe they all managed to fake their own deaths. And, there's a variety of things on how they did that. I don't know exactly how they did it. I mean, they were done in two different states for starters, but that's not what this video is about. This is about this story about them getting married, okay? And as soon as I saw this story, it's November 5th, so because in addition to the theory that I think those three faked their deaths, and let me just quickly sort of clean up a little bit of my last video. I had this idea that they got body doubles and had three different persons had plastic surgery, that would make them look like them so that they could pass them off as themselves, as the dead person. And, and that those persons were probably addicts, so they were easy to manipulate and just tell them that they were part of some scam where they would get a bunch of money for free, not knowing that they were going to end up dead. That's, I understand that this is all far-fetched, but I don't care. Okay. Believe me, I'm so zeroing in on this. And, what's more likely probably, is that, that they used, dead, somebody who already died and had them transform them after their death, either stored the body, somewhere at the appropriate temperature to basically, God only knows, man. I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, this is like Coma or something, like the movie, where they, with Michael Douglas, and I forget the actress's name. But they would have done it after the fact, and basically you have, every year at this stage, you have 70,000 people overdosing from drugs, okay? That's a pretty big supply to choose from, and if you have access to death records or have knowledge of death records, and access to overdose, those persons that have gone through overdosed on an ongoing basis, if you have access to those kinds of medical records, there's, I think, where you would find your body doubles. What a mess, dude. But, I just want to clean that up because for whatever reason. But back to what I was saying, in addition to I thinking those three people faked their three deaths, I think that for some reason this was connected to, the massacre of the women and children in northern Mexico on November 4th of the LeBarón family, the Langford family. I mostly said the LeBarón family in previous videos. Of the Latter-day Saints community, almost cultish in nature, fundamentalist, multiple wives, etc., of about 150 people living in, I think it's Sonora, Mexico, northern Mexico. Everyone knows the story. And that was on November 5th, where three different vehicles, a Chevy Tahoe at 10 a.m. and Chevy Suburbans, two of them, I think at 11 a.m., that were basically, this mini caravan that was heading to a wedding in a different city in Mexico, a little bit southeast of Sonora, wherever it is. I think Sonora is the county, and the town is Benavista or something. I can't remember. But I had this idea that these people that have been involved in this whole thing of these deaths that I think are fake and other things. I mean, this is I think they're involved in some really big bad stuff, man. That they knew that those people would be in transit and that they were carrying drugs, and and that's maybe how they did it. They used the women and children as a good front, because you would never suspect the women and children to be transporting drugs. And they hijacked them, and slaughtered them, and then took the drugs and took the drugs, ended up killing women and children, whatever. And I was using, part of the reason I came up with that theory is because of the storage unit, the surveillance footage of Lori Vallow coming there, and Alex Cox coming there multiple times by himself, and in one instance with another man too. I think on the the last day he came, which would have been, I can't remember, or the 28th when he came with another man. And but this is what I said, that this is like some kind of a large car seat, or a portion of the car seat, the two seats of of a back row of three seats, and that's basically was a, they needed the duplicate to put into the Chevy Tahoe or Chevy Suburban, because they were going to take the one out of there that had drugs stashed in it, lots of drugs, worth tons of money. And same thing in the tire. And I mean, that's just my theory. And what I was saying in another video is that tire there is huge. It's a huge tire, man. It looks a lot like a Chevy Suburban tire would be my guess, or Chevy Tahoe. I'm thinking Chevy Suburban, whichever. And that's how I came up with this whole theory, that's why they were part of it. They were part of some hijacking of that slaughter, and hijacking drugs, stealing drugs from basically somebody that maybe they even used to do business with. Who knows? So I just was doing some cleanup there. But there's a reason that I'm bringing that all back up. Oh, I know one other thing I wanted to mention is, you know what? I got a funny feeling that I believe that right there, that's Alex Cox. He's a big dude. He's pretty big, and seems pretty, pretty strong and pretty big, pretty healthy too. I have a feeling, I'm not positive, I have a feeling that's not Alex Cox. I have a feeling, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate to guess wrong. And these people, they love you to guess wrong. They love it. They love it. They love it. They love it. Because they all know, all right? They're watching my videos, and they know the whole story, because they're part of it, okay? And so anything that I get wrong, they just jump all over it, and they just focus on the things that are wrong, because they know the things that are wrong, because I wasn't there. I can't get everything right, okay? But I had this feeling that maybe that was Charles Vallow. But I don't know. And maybe the guy that Alex came with on the day, I think it's the 28th, was Charles too. Who knows? So, so back to this story from Justin Lum, that ran last night, about Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell getting married on the island of Kauai, Hawaii, where Princeville, Hawaii is, where they rented a place, as well as they looked at another place 2 days after this, on November 7th. They went to a woman's home, I think in Princeville, where they were looking into renting, I think, a 2-bedroom apartment or something like that above where she lives, that she was renting, which is much smaller than what they're used to living in, that's for sure, I think. And she rejected it or whatever, and she said they were all giddy and in love and all this other stuff. So, and when I saw this story, okay, the first thing I noticed was the date was November 5th, because that's one day after November 4th, the slaughter of the LeBarón family in Langford. So, and I noticed in Justin Lum's story that, he shows pictures of it, okay, of the wedding. And supposedly it's 700 different pictures that were taken of this, and it's just them. And by the accounts of, I think, the witnesses he spoke to, or something like that, or that the kids weren't there. And as best as I know, it's just the two of them. Nobody else was present on November 5th. And I'm thinking to myself, well, one thing is, like, why didn't Justin Lum, why didn't he tell us who the photographer is? Who's the photographer that took these pictures so we can look at them and stuff like that? Why is that a secret? But whatever. It's just a thought that came into my head. And the second thing was that, these are just like alibis, this is basically placing them in a place, on a specific date with tons of photographic evidence, on a date that's right next to the date of the massacre, clearing them of any involvement, because the other people that might have been doing it are supposed to be dead, and among others. I don't think he did this with just 3 people, but who the hell knows? I mean, it's just a couple women, the rest are all children, the ones that were slaughtered and stuff. So that's what I thought about that, I feel very comfortable about the things I'm telling you, but there's no way I can get every last little thing right, and you don't need to. And when you try to, you're wasting your time. It's not necessary, you just need to fix the problem, okay? So, but the other thing, the reason I'm making this video, I didn't even really think that was all that significant. I didn't, okay? The only reason I'm making this video is because this story now has been pulled. It's gone, okay? It does not exist anymore. I even almost didn't make this video because I saw on my Twitter feed, on my phone, I was looking at the story. I went to go look at it. I typically go check these reporters, Justin Lum, Adam Herbitz, Nate Eaton, Eric Grossarth, and now there's a new one, Lauren Steinbrecher for Fox 13 Salt Lake City, that are reporting on this. So I was going to check and see what's new, and I noticed this story when I clicked on it because I kind of was like wanting to maybe take some pictures of it, whatever, and I noticed it was gone on my phone. And so when I came back to I missed them. Like, that's just so crazy. What's weird, why did they pull the story? I mean, it's not that crazy, but I thought it was interesting. And so I came to my computer, started to make a video about it, and it was still there though. But I think the phone and stuff is a little different than the laptop. It takes a little time for, this is a little slower to update. Because the story was still there, but it's not there anymore. It's gone. Believe me. It's gone. It's totally gone. So, I mean, here's the story right there. It's there, and it's gone. And actually, no, I just did that. It's still it's in the search results here too, down here. They pulled the story. So I don't know why. I'm not real sure. And, but I was actually I had taken screenshots of the pictures. So now I have some of, their wedding pictures, and, and they're dancing and supposedly in love. And this is the story you got from the woman who would maybe be their landlord of the 2-bedroom apartment above her home that she was looking to rent. And this is, just to show you all the pictures so you get a look at them. They're real happy and stuff. There's 700 of these, supposedly. We're almost done. There's a reason for this stuff, dude. I mean, besides just an alibi. I mean, the whole idea, they don't care if you hate them, okay? They don't care. They want you to hate them. They want to seem like absolutely, horrible human beings. But they don't want, what they don't want you to do is put them in jail for slaughtering, and drugs, slaughtering women and young children, and they weren't there. So, or being part of a conspiracy to do that, among other things. Believe me, this is so big. I mean, it's, it's way bigger than even that incident. I mean, that didn't happen out of the clear blue sky, And that's pretty much the story there. They don't care. They want you to think they're intentionally pretending to be in love and all this other stuff. They want you to think they're just gross human beings and not, pure evil, dude. But so that's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. Sorry for the mess. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.